So there's nothing left now but to celebrate. Celebrations all around. Stan Owls, still proud in defeat. Hold his head high. The Crows are the champions, and finally, after being the bridesmaid on 3 occasions, Malcolm Blight has broken through. That says something about this sport as well.
It was a premiership that will live in the sporting annals of a nation. A win that defied the odds and brought joy to an entire state and left another in a state of shock. No team had ever risen in one season from 12th before to take an AFL flag. No team had ever won 4 finals in as many weeks to take an AFL flag. And no team or group of supporters has enjoyed the moment as much. On September the 27th, 1997, the Adelaide Crows defeated St Kilda in front of 99,645 people at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The party would last into the small hours in Melbourne. In Adelaide, it's probably still going on.
But the moment today, how did it feel when the siren finally sounded?
To be honest with you, David, I started crying. The emotion got to me, and we've got such a young side, and all the young fellas did today, I was just so proud of them.
It's a crowd most Victorian clubs would be happy with for a home and away match. 40,000 Crows fans basking in the sunshine and the glory of a Premiership victory. The first sight of the Premiership Cup sending them into raptures. Then the moment they'd waited 7 seasons for, a police guard parting the sea of red, blue and gold and leading the Crows home.
Be one of the highlights of my life. It was just absolutely unbelievable. I can't believe it's dream come true. It's just great. I just like to thank the boys. Fantastic.
You're a part of this Adelaide side and you were there on the day with them. It was disappointing in my point of view, but the boys done what they had to do and they bring it back. You'll beauty!
It didn't matter what the players said, their deeds on the field and the Premiership Cup have sent South Australia into a frenzy. For the Melbourne-based AFL clubs, this must be a frightening sight. Adelaide is already the benchmark for the AFL with 40,000 members, but the real number of people supporting the club is many, many times more than that. And the way the club is cashing in, it will remain a force for years to come.
Videos, they just got in $30.
Anything with a Crow emblem is selling too fast for the suppliers to keep up with.
We've got another truck coming from Melbourne that should be here within about half an hour. We've had one truck already. T-shirts, there's another 5,000 T-shirts being air freighted down that'll arrive here, hopefully within about half an hour as well.
The Crows even charge $10 for a photo with the object of their obsession. Last night it was like Christmas and New Year's Eve rolled into one on the streets of Adelaide. They hung from windows, yelled from cars and danced the night away.
We're the pride of South Australia, we're the mighty Adelaide Crows.
We kick the Vic, we kick the Vic.
The players stayed in Melbourne to savour the victory, partying within sight of the MCG at Melbourne Park. 5-goal hero Darren Jarman again playing for the crowd. And on the road to Adelaide, thousands stopped at Ballarat's Tent City, not for a rest but for another party. After a long night, the Crows finally left Melbourne behind, and at 35,000 feet, the moment South Australia has longed for, but few witnessed it.
We're hitting the border now.
Just about to cross it now.
When they touched down, the fire brigade sprayed the aircraft and sirens sounded. The players only beginning to realise the enormous impact the winners had in their home state.
A lot of people really look forward to watching the footy each weekend, and then we can have some success like we've had now and create a bit of history. It's just fantastic for them, and like I say, it just creates a positive outlook for the stadium.
The partying will last a week, but the satisfaction will endure for a lifetime.
Just the emotion of the day. I mean, they've done the state proud, they've done a fantastic job. Everybody's on an emotional high. We're just going to go and kick butt and do everything we can now.
Fan-bloody-tastic.
And how much does it mean to you as a South Australian?
Even more as a Crows supporter, but great for South Australia. Great for South Australia, especially to take it off the Vics. I mean, that's just, we've all been waiting for that.
The story really began in 1996, when the much-decorated South Australian legend Malcolm Blight decided to forego the luxury of the 7 television commentary box and return to football. 3 times the Magarey and Brownlow medalist had coached Geelong to losing grand finals. The decision to forego a career in television was made in favour of a job with an Adelaide side that had finished 12th in '96 under Robert Shaw.
It is the most amazing feeling in sport, in our game, that you can possibly have. And I actually said that to the guys at three-quarter time. It was the only time I talked about winning for the whole of the final series until it got to three-quarter time of the grand final, that I actually talked to them about the emotions that I'd been through as a player and what that meant at the end of it, you know, and the cliche of 30 minutes to go, but I'm sure you'll have the greatest adrenaline rush you've ever had in your life.
It was simply huge, the biggest reception since the Beatles nearly 35 years ago. The way the autograph hunters were running around before the start of the procession, you'd reckon the Crows would beat the Beatles in a popularity poll. In brighter than expected weather, the cavalcade of cars crawled along King William Road. An estimated 100,000 supporters crammed the route. Some had staked out their posse since early morning.
Oh, it's a bit overwhelming, like they seem to be going for miles, but look, it's a great event and it's good for South Australia, and people will come out in their droves to support the club. It's fantastic.
5-goal maestro Darren Jarman has tasted the sweetness of a premiership before, but it was nothing like this.
It was a bit quieter when I won a flag at Hawthorn, but this is just magnificent.
Together in one car, the wounded warriors, Vishuto, Vardy and Modra, who contributed so much to the Crows' achievement, yet were robbed through injury of a place in the grand final dream team.
Oh, it's just a fantastic rock-up by our supporters. I think the boys in the cars will be pretty proud of them.
The normally painfully shy Andrew McLeod punching the air like a world-class boxer, proudly wearing his Norm Smith medal alongside that for the Premiership.
The parade's taken a lot longer to travel the distance to the Town Hall than was anticipated because there are just so many people around. The players are being absolutely swamped by their supporters.
It's just unbelievable to see the amount of people that have come out, and it's just a great feeling.
Bringing up the rear, coach Malcolm Blight, raising the Championship Cup high at the symbolic heart of Adelaide, the Beehive Corner. Then total gridlock. His car couldn't even reach the town hall. It took a flying wedge of burly police to escort him to the dais through the sea of people. Ironically, the only jeers of the day greeted the politicians, basking in reflected glory. Lord Mayor Lomax Smith handed the Crows the key to the city. The club promised to use it well. Malcolm Blight once more fulsome in his praise for his players.
The month of September should go down in history. I think it's one of the great performances of all time, as I've said.
And just what does it mean to get the key to the city? Well, for one, you can clown around on the town hall balcony.
Matthew Clark is back and leading the ruck division.
The spring clean had been extensive as Malcolm Blight settled in as the third coach of the Crows in 7 years. Amongst the big-name departures were Andrew Jarman and former skippers Tony McGuinness and Chris McDermott. Into the side came Barry Stanfield from Footscray, a forward option who made his mark in round 1 against Brisbane. Blight had promised a tougher side. He produced the results against the Lions.
Tries to win it out of the centre for the Lions. Can't do so. Now here's an opportunity for Rashudo as he goes down towards full forward. Modra! Spotted him, saw the lead, and the pass was good. We'll be hoping to join the 100-game club this year. If he can remain injury-free and in form, he should certainly do that. Flat-looking helicopter punt, I think, has been shepherded through.
Brisbane certainly kicking with maybe a 3-goal breeze, Roscoe. It's pretty strong down towards that lake end. Modra. McLeod, 35 metres out. Kicks a goal.
Excellent work by Andrew McLeod. Adelaide have their third, and there's now just one straight kick in it. Clark is beaten by Keating. Pushes it down towards half-forward. Gowes desperately tries to lock it up. Given away the free kick, however. And all of a sudden, with that tackle too high, things going the Crows' way. Down towards Modra once again. He looks for the free against Champion. Not to beat. Dick Foss is under real pressure. He's given it away to Modra. He's kicked the goal. Scores a level here at Football Park. He's a long way from home, the left footer. Kicks into the breeze. Dick Foss was in front of the pack. Saw it drop down. James, some clever work. In fact, it worked beautifully as the step in towards goal. Looks pretty close. Keating still tried to get the tap even on the ground. Around the body goes Andrew McLeod. Now he kicked a sensational one in the first term, and he's done it again.
His 119th game today. So he kicks long.
Gee,
one for the high flies. Pittman's at the back of the pack. But in front is Stanfield. He played 3 games last year, Barry Stanfield. Plays his 100th game next week.
See where he heads for this time. Again to the outer side. And now it's a 2-on-1 duel there, although there are a couple waiting down. That was good work by Brett James to palm it down towards Bickley, and the skipper's away. He looks towards Modra at half-forward. He almost pulled it in with the one hand. Look at the ferocious tackling to lock that ball up there. Stanfield hand pass come out. Here's an opportunity for Modra. Flicks it in towards goal. This is going to be close. He's kicked another one. The Crows are on fire.
South Australian Brett James came back after 3 years in Melbourne with Collingwood. What an eye-opener. 7 kicks, 26 hand passes in a best on-ground performance. Modra leapt straight to the top of the goal-kicking chart with 7.
McLeod. Going to stay on the half-forward line. Modra's on the lead. Pushed over the line by Malloy. Deliberate kick. And they'll get it.
So I don't think he did that too badly. Initially, he held the ball back and then just tapped it a little bit.
He's got his kicking boot on because he's just kicked his 6th goal. Champion giving the ball back for Brisbane. It's been Modra's opponent since the start of the game. Pittman punches the ball down to Williams, goes short, looking for Stanfield. He's got it. Kicked a goal in the 2nd term. It's been a good foil down there for Modra. Just 35 metres out, and he's kicked it. Pittman starting to get his hands on the ball. Here come the Crows once more. Rintoul's on the ground. McCartney's off. hands and knees. James on the burst, centre half forward. Williams, long bomb, kicks a goal.
Mark Rasciuto was on fire. He'd gather 36 possessions as the Crows destroyed Brisbane in front of 36,000 people.
Look at this. Oh, how easy is this? Barry Stanfield's got another one. 6 straight kicks in it. Oh, that's a sensational mark taken by Troy Bond. Kicking from 53 metres, the distance will test him, although he's got the breeze at his back. He starts it right, he brings it round now. There is a kick. That is a beauty. To a congested half-forward line area, Lepich went up. Well, he'd probably forgotten daylight saving. Anyway, that's going to result in another goal to Stanfield.
Hart, really hope to take this over the line. Champions there. Traps it well. Just can't quite get it back to Dion Scott. So you can hear the roar at Football Park.
For Malcolm Blight, the perfect start. A 6-goal win, Tony Modra 7 goals 3, Stanfield 5, James, Rasciuto and Modra all outstanding.
I can remember just through the whole coaching career, I've never got all that excited about the result of round one. In fact, I think sometimes when you win it, you know, the whole club seems to go over the top. So I've always been relaxed about round one. But we had some, you know, we had some new players playing, and Brett James played a magnificent game first up for us, and Mark Rasciuto started on a bit of a roll, and so did Tony Modra. So it was a good start for us, but you know, it wasn't one you could really get carried away with.
Kicks it towards half forward. Good effort by young Ryan.
The Crows came to Melbourne for the match against Richmond at the MCG with a dreadful record on the road. It was pointed out before the game that Adelaide had lost 43 of 54 games in Melbourne in 7 seasons. And it was destined to be one of those days again, the Tigers belting home 7 goals from 12 scoring shots in the opening term. At quarter time, Blight was fuming. The improvement was marked, so much so that the Crows got to within a kick in the last quarter.
Tony Modra kicked 1 in the first quarter. This for number 2. Oh, it's a beautiful kick.
He's kicked to half forward, out in front of Smart. He does well, gets rid of Gasper, and from 50 metres, Nigel Smart will answer and kick a Crows goal. Well done.
And he's been a wonderful get from Fitzroy. Hasn't missed a game for 3 years. Here's Darren Jarman. It could be very dangerous if he stays on forward line. Modra. Two kicks for 2 goals so far. Make it 3 out of 3. No problem.
The final margin blew out to 28 points as Matthew Richardson cut loose with 3 quick goals.
Loves a goal. A long way out this time. Richardson!
Modra 5, Smart 3, while Smart, Williams and James were the best. To add insult to injury, Jarman was suspended for striking Matthew Rogers, out for 2 matches. Later at a fiery press conference, Blight opened up. Ruckman David Pittman his target.
To start like that means you won't win, particularly with a pathetic effort from Pittman in ruck. I mean, it was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen from a big fella. And that's pretty hard on an individual, but he's going to have to live with that because we got carried away as a team. And then at the end, I'm really disappointed that, just disappointed that as soon as the free kick went against Mark Bickley and the turnover in the centre, and you saw everyone just go ahead. Ben Hart's head went down, everyone's head went down. I mean, I'm absolutely fuming. But then you add that up to 90 minutes, which was probably pretty good stuff. Sometimes the means to the end's not quite right. And I think that one of the things that I did that day was probably, and it wasn't certainly pre-planned as some people said it was, but was probably putting the club on notice that they had a chance to win a game of footy and really blew it. I mean, blew it badly in the end. And, you know, David played a very poor first quarter. He was our only big bloke. And, you know, the furor that happened after, actually, I mean, I did leave a word out. I mean, I talked about effort on the day. Now, since then, I've seen some tape where I actually did say the word effort. And I sat down with David at the end of it. I mean, I felt sorry for him. I felt it was a wrong thing to do, that should happen. However, you know, that his form was on notice, as were other players that I mentioned as well, and David seemed to cop the brunt of it, and I did, and that's justifiably too. I mean, I never thought that if anyone had an opinion on that and they thought I'd done the wrong thing, well, that's fine. I had to live with that, and so did David. But ironically, you know, since that day, you know, David's been one of the leaders of the club, and his form, I believe, has improved, and he's ended up having a great season.
Centre half forward.
The match against the vastly undermanned Carlton had undergone subtle hype. The old Navy Blues transformed into the M&M Light Blues, Carlton receiving a rich cash windfall for the commercial opportunity. For a half, it looked like Adelaide was going to make a huge transformation. The 6-goal second term was a beauty. Costa, Bickley, Rasciuto, Jamieson and Tregenza firing their side.
3 in the opening round of the season. Settles down for his second here. His teammates applauded across the line, and the umpire will agree.
Gilligan towards Bickley. The Crows looking good. Go down towards the half-forward line once again. Peter Vardy has possession just for a moment. Pushes it wide. Flick round the body by Barry Stanfield. Just forward of centre. Gilligan, a mighty belt, but straight to Murphy, whose kick is well smothered. Danger here for Carlton because Not So Smart picks it up. Nigel goes for goal and he's popped it through.
Williams there, he's the closest player to goal. There it is, there's the contest as you see it. Peter Dean tries to get a hand to it. Through comes Rintoul. Umpires there on the line, goal.
But then it happened again. From world beaters to battlers. A 3-goal second half let Carlton storm home to win by 28 points.
Settles on the 50-metre line. Murphy's the target or the goals. McLeod gets a hand to it. No, he didn't.
Modra goalless, Stanfield and Smart 3 each. Jamieson, Smart and Costa the best on a day when again Blight criticised his team. 7 players, he said, didn't contribute.
Footy Park early Sunday morning and not a fan in sight. Then the onslaught. Some fans had been waiting years for today's historic match and they weren't going to let their sides down.
Winners and the losers.
Some went to extreme lengths to show their true colours, while others were quick to part with their cash.
Good amount of money for both sides. At the moment, there's probably been more for the Crows.
The footy souvenir shops worked overtime.
With lots of flags being waved, lots of hats being worn, everyone supporting their club.
Throughout the day, the crowd streamed in, Footy Park jam-packed right on game time. Many fans have had sleepless nights this week waiting for the ultimate showdown between the Crows and Port Power, and for many fans the result is a case of life and death because no one wants to lose.
I don't support Port at all, I hate them.
Port Adelaide people are better.
The Crows will do them very easily today.
I'm retired and love every bit of Port Adelaide.
We've been living for this game for a long while, so it's going to be great.
As the players broke the banners and lined up for the first bounce, Adelaide showed the rest of the country South Australia has something to cheer about.
Throw in. 2 youngsters.
The game was a sellout. 47,000 for the historic showdown. Most expecting the Crows to win. That wasn't to be. Apart from Modra's performance in front, the Crows had little to crow about.
Modra's going to fly at the back. Up he goes! Oh, yes! Oh, you can see him loitering at the back, and he flew Tony Modra and stayed up there and took it on the way down.
We really need something to spark them here. There's Gilligan getting the tap. Rasciuto, a driving kick. That's a good effort. Paxman against Modra. Here's a chance for Stanfield. He's kicked the goal. Floats it down towards centre half forward. Caven over the top. Bond. Caven did well lying on the ground. It comes to Vardy, the unlikely hero. Down towards full forward. Out of middle. Centres the ball. Tregenza can run to the 50. Not normally the best of kicks, goes in short, intended for Modra, and he's taken it. That was a good...
Early in the last quarter, the Power led by 40 points. Then Adelaide hit back. 6 goals to tighten the margin and restore some respectability.
Cross it comes to Tregenza. Well played there by Ormond Allen. Now Rasciuto's away. Kicks inside the 50. Modra goes back 20 metres out. He snaps. I think he's got it.
Modra 7 from 12 kicks and 9 marks, Rintoul 2. Tregenza, Rasciuto and Modra clearly the best. The tribunal again hit the Crows, Jamieson 3 weeks for attempting to strike Cummings, his radio workmate.
And actually in the build-up, I mean, you can imagine Adelaide was alive for, you know, football was just on everyone's lips. And everyone had an opinion on Port or the Crows. But I always felt it was just one game. It was never going to make or break a season for either side. However, the way we played, a lot of the senior players did go over the top, and since that time they've said they thought it was a turning point, so I'm happy with that, I believe that. However, the following Monday, after everyone's feeling pretty down on themselves, I only put one word, or two letters up on the board, and that was 18. And I said, there's 18 games to go. We can't do that one, let's get rid of it. So we forged on from there. So I think perhaps that took some pressure off, I don't know, but I certainly wasn't worried about the result. I thought our last quarter fight back was terrific.
This comes down to Tregenza. Pittman, first clear kick of the game. Well done, son.
The long-awaited return of ruck champion Sean Wren after 2 knee reconstructions since 1994 was celebrated in style. 13,000 at the new Optus Oval headquarters of the Western Bulldogs, once known affectionately as Footscray. Times change, names change, and so too does footy. This day, the Crows were just world beaters. Mark Rasciuto, 11 kicks in the first quarter. While the Doggies peppered away, Adelaide right on target. Modra lethal, 5 in the first half.
Well, here's Kim Costa. He's got 20 metres in the clear, celebrating his 50th game. Good kick to full forward. Modra up high, but Dent at the back takes it up. Not counted.
That was a mark. Oh, come on.
Well, I didn't even see who kicked the goal because it was a mark.
Breaks away, brings it to the centre of the ground. Here's Bond. He's going to drive it up. Oh, good kick. Beautiful kick to Modra. Modra's going to kick his third maybe here. 25 to 30 metres out, directly in front. Tony Modra's kicked his third. This is Costa driving up, Modra at the back. Still a chance. Modra off the ground. Oh, great goal.
Kick by Bickley. He's gone for as much distance as he can get. Well, that's a mark right in front in the goal square. Barry Stanfield.
Very selfish play by Craig Ellis.
Stanfield for goal. Gets his second.
Stanfield, a great support act with 4 goals after half-time.
Bickley, it might be better to bring Grant out to centre-half forward. Here's Barry Stanfield again. Well, he's kicked 2 against his former club. He will have to kick from about 51 metres. Kick right on 50 in the finish, and that is a booming kick. He's just missed, I think. No, he's got it.
Throw in centre wing. Pittman beats Wind. A fumble by Wirra. He left it for Bickley. A centering kick by Mark Bickley. Jarman's moved to the forward line and takes a mark. 35 metres out right in front. Adelaide fans will tell the story. Goal! Doesn't attempt the mark. The paddle on. Hudson. Lost it. Ormond Allen. James. Tregenza. Ellis flying for a mark again. It comes to Jarman. And an open goal to McCartney.
Nearly 8 goals up at the last change, the Crows went on to win by 50 points. Little did either team realise at the time that this would be a dress rehearsal for the preliminary final in September.
Good kick. Terrific kick. He started off with a real bang. Modra, 4 in the first term, and Barry Stanfield might end up kicking more than him. There he lets fly with a beautiful kick over the fence for a goal.
Jarman off his chest, but to Tregenza, good vision. McLeod in a bit of space. Kick by Andrew McLeod in the direction of Modra. Oh, what a mark. It wasn't the high flyer that he's famous for. No problem.
And Adelaide have been streaming directly down the ground. Here they go again through Rashudo. Down to the half-forward line, Stanfield and Alice. Alice tries to break the door. That's holding the ball nearly. Yes, I think so. And the umpire and Jarman clapping the umpire. And they really have been good today, these young umpires.
There's Alice.
Throw it up.
Yes, exactly right.
Well, here's the kick from Jarman. It's a goal, and that's his third.
Modra, 8 goals, 1 to the top of the goal-kicking table. Stanfield 5, Darren Jarman 3. Rashuto, Bickley and Tregenza the best.
Certainly Sean coming back in, David Pittman came back in and Darren Jarman came back in. He'd missed a couple of games with suspension. So we actually got some seniority back in the side, but it was the perfect scenario. We had no hope of winning it because of what we'd done the previous couple of weeks, and yet the Bulldogs were sitting on top of the ladder. I mean, all they had to do was turn up and they'd win it. And unfortunately, you know, in football now, those sort of thought processes the players go through, they were 5% off, we were 5% better than the week before, and we won pretty comfortably.
Too far out to score, about a kick and a half from goal.
17 times interstate clubs had made the trip to Collingwood's historic home ground at Victoria Park. Only the West Coast Eagles in 1993 had ever won. A huge task for the Crows in round 6. Inaccuracy would be costly. While Modra kicked 5 majors, he also kicked 5 minors as well.
So far to Tony Modra, and that one looks like it might be 29. It is.
As Vardy sends it straight back. Big pack of players. Collingwood in front. That was Richardson. Now Modra off the ground if he can. Looks pretty good. Tony Modra for his third.
The most contentious score of the day was Richard Osborne's goal, apparently well after the quarter-time siren. In the end, it would play a major bearing on the result.
Steal and was from Williams, intended for Buckley. That might be a high tackle. Umpire lets it go. Vardy dribbles it along the ground. Brown, knock on by Buckley again. Snap it goal down there by Williams. It's close. One on the goal umpire. I think it's there. He's kicked it.
Doesn't deem to be a free kick. Finding Watson half back, goes across the ground to Monkhurst. Collingwood have done this well with Monkhurst playing loose man. Tries to play him quickly, gets caught. Williams bringing McLeod off half back. Adelaide's, or one of Adelaide's best so far. Long kick, one of Modra. About 30 metres out, only a slight angle. Straight through the middle for Tony Modra.
Modra on a lead. Brown gets back. Francis will rush it through. McCartney might have kicked it. I think he has. Goal umpire will get up. The field umpire says, oh, there, it's there.
A sloppy third quarter in which the Crows kicked 1-5 would cost them dearly. Collingwood by a point.
Unable to take the mark. Courage from Brown. Ducks his head. Bickley takes him high. And he's called ducking. Will be paid holding the ball. This umpire Kennedy's calling. He ducked his head. Yep, he's caught.
So I think that, I mean, he was a bit unlucky. And nevertheless, I think there's one situation where the play with the ball wasn't given a great opportunity.
Well, Bickley directly in front puts the Crows 7th on the board.
And the recipient is going to be Costa.
Kim Costa wastes no time. Drive it in long. Modra! Yes. Oh, what a great grab. Tony Francis coming off, being replaced by Alex McDonald as Modra lining up for his 5th. He's pretty happy with that. This is number 5.
I think he's coming off Scott Crowe. Shoulder looks a bit second hand. Oh, great mark, Edwards. Monkhorst caught flat-footed. He goes at goal. Has he sprayed it? I think it might be there. We'll wait on the goal umpire. It is. It's a goal.
Goes to kick long, wants to move it forward. Stanfield and Modra in the pack. No one can mark it. Vardy gets a rush kick. Caven directly in front. Drives it through for the Crows. 1 point the difference.
Modra to 32 in 6 games. Costa, Modra and McLeod the best.
I thought that we controlled the game for most of the day, but one of the things was that there were about half the team had never been there. Collingwood had a pretty good record against the Crows, mainly in Melbourne because of playing at Victoria Park. But it was a terrific game of football, And one of the pleasing things about the game, I remember, is that the siren went. Obviously, Collingwood were pretty happy, but I thought the Collingwood crowd clapped very loudly as we walked off the ground, you know, the group of players. I thought they'd actually acknowledged that perhaps the Adelaide Football Club had done something. Although they didn't win, they in fact put some fair effort into it.
Tregenza, who was running straight at the goals, but he elected to go by himself. But maybe this, after a fairly critical error.
Mother's Day and the Bombers hit Adelaide. Matthew Robran was back for his first game of the season and in rare form. 12 scoring shots in the first quarter by the Crows could have settled the issue. Instead, the scoreline read 4-8.
Unmarked on centre wing, Vardy. Lead offered in short by Robran. Vardy goes long. Stanfield or Modra. Open goal for Modra.
Here's Jarman. Normally his disposal is impeccable. Out to Tregenza. Now he can run. 2 bounces. Brings it into the half-forward line. He finds Robran. This is a good move by the Crows. Modra's calling for it, so is Stanfield. As Robran kicks it high, here's Modra. Can't hang on to it. Stanfield kicks in mid-air. He's kicked it. Yes. Simons might look for Banks, or will he go to Fletcher?
Great defensive work by the Crows.
This has been about. It is great defensive work now.
They're just running the clock down, I think, Pete, to
getting close towards quarter time. Only about 20 seconds to go. Oh, an ordinary kick by Banks. Taken by Modra. He kicks straight up in the air. Lip tap. Oh, good mark. He's really the only one who went for it.
Well, players do say that if they wear gloves that they lose contact, and maybe that's the problem there.
The kick from Lip tap is a goal. Right on the quarter time siren.
10 different goal kickers would join in the celebrations. Modra topped 200 goals at Football Park, the first player to do so. Jarman was devastating, 23 kicks and 11 marks.
Touch to it though. Tap forward to Modra. 50 metres out, Vardy. His last shot inaccurate. This one better. Oh, what a mark. No mark to Lloyd. He thought it was his. Just walking back to take his kick. McLeod to Rashuto. Half back to half forward. Danaher in front, dropped the mark. Bursting on Bickley. And kicks the goal.
There's Pryor. Receiving from Joe Masiti. Good use of the body by Lloyd. And the umpire paid advantage. That'll have to come back.
Once it paid advantage.
Well, it didn't really work to advantage. Surely it had to come back. Here's Robran. Gives it off to Jarman, who fires a goal. And it's a goal.
Tyson Edwards still too far out to score. Need to be his very best. It's a good-looking kick. Stanfield, no. Did Modra get a boot to that? He's kicked the goal.
Now he's looking to give it off short. He had to kick it 55 metres. He's centering it in towards centre half forward. Oh, uncontested. Matthew Rock.
The last quarter was a walkover as the injury-hit Bombers had no answer to a 9-goal onslaught. Suddenly, the Crows were in the top 8. The season was shaping nicely.
Actually, as we see Peter Vardy to Jarman. Jarman bends it back, and the mark has been taken by Liptak as we go down to Neil Curley with an injury report.
They're in trouble there soon on the bench now. I think they've just about run out of spare players. But Drew Norby, you called it well. Pittman's been the key to this revival. He really has lifted in the last 15 minutes.
Will kick from 25 metres directly in front. And here's goal.
But I think it was a smart move by starting both him and Wren on the ground at the opening of this term.
James won the ruck. It gets to the back to Modra. This will just about clinch it.
Here's Nigel Smart. Caven has been a very good player again. Peter Caven is a beautiful kick to Modra. Mark. But Tyson Edwards is stripped on this ball. I think it's another one.
Modra 5, Liptak 3, Rashuto with 35 possessions, and Jarman just ran amok.
Three-quarter time, I think there was only a point or two in it. You know, there were a lot of injuries around the place. But, you know, Matthew Robin came back for us that day, also Matthew Liptak. And, look, it was almost one that we needed to, after Footscray and then a close one at Collingwood, we probably needed a win. And coming back to Football Park, we'd seemed to be travelling for so long that it was just important we had a win. And we played a great last quarter. And I think it just gave us a bit of impetus for the season.
Good contest, great tackle Stevens, but ineffective.
Strangely, Adelaide hadn't won 2 games in a row for a year. When the illness-ravaged Sydney Swans hit town, the opportunity was there for the taking. The return of Wren and Pittman, the reappearance of Robran, Liptak and Jarman from suspension for the side that lost to Port provided a new-look Crow lineup. 5 key players who were suddenly making their presence felt. Sydney never looked like providing a contest.
Just behind the wing. Hand pass into Darren Jarman. Jars goes for the 50. Roos gets back. Drops what he may have taken. It spills. Robran to Stanfield. Stanfield kicks a goal. That's his second. Swans out of defence. The ball sits up for Costa. Costa's kick inside the 50. A bit of luck about that. Prosciutto takes the chest mark. And Mark Prosciutto, who was fantastic last week in the game against Essendon, going for their third. Slight breeze behind. 45 metres. Goal! The run through the middle. McLeod pokes it up short. Liptak. Costa's been good. Jamison way up the ground. And Robran gets the goal.
Handball further forward. Vardy's caught. Gets the handball away. Great signs for the Crows. They always seem to have a player in support. And Johnson's kick there has been marked by Costa. Costa prominent. Possession number 6. Kicks into the full forward line. And Darren Jarman has taken the mark about 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Saw him last week against the Bombers miss a couple of what looked like straightforward shots, but we'll watch this with interest, but he's put it straight through. 5 goals now to Adelaide.
20 metres in the clear. Cook a good run to get back to him. Tregenza to the goal square. Stanfield. Modra waits at the back. Here's Modra over his shoulder for his first. Hand passing not too good by the Swans. Ran back to McLeod. Prosciutto now on the move. And look at Darren Jarman. He's kicked a couple. What about this one? Just turns Roos inside out. What football by Jarman.
Johnson kicks the Crows forward. Stanfield couldn't take it. Chance for Modra. Oh, kicked off his right side. Through for a goal. Miraculous.
An 8-goal first term and a 48-point lead at half-time turned it into an exhibition. There were standouts. Darren Jarman, 24 kicks, 13 marks. Prosciutto, 19 kicks, 17 hand passes. Robran, 10 marks, 2 goals. Kane Johnson, 8 marks.
Surely will get his third out of this. Brett James getting his first run. Past the halfway mark of the third quarter. Stanfield gets his third goal.
One thing he does really well, Rob, is get back from the mark quickly to get himself balanced. He does that almost better than anyone. Towards full forward, and Wren just stands his ground. Now it's Wren, just the height. And Sean Wren kicks the goal. Tregenza dragged to the ground. James, you're going to get into strife too. Just able to get his left foot to it. Vardy goes back to Jarman. Put it down. Put it absolutely down to Darren Jarman.
Tregenza through the middle. Prosciutto pops up a hand pass. The umpire gets out of the way. Robran across the ground. Tregenza failed to take the mark. Has another go at it. Inside the 50. Vardy, good catch. He's kicking for goal from about 40 metres. Kick's good.
12 marks and kept it off with 4 goals.
The final margin, 89 points. The roll was on. People were taking notice.
Wren has got it. Go for goal, Big Sean. He doesn't. He gives it to Johnson, and Johnson gets the goal.
Modra, Jarman and Stanfield shared the major spoils, while Jarman, Rasciuto and Tregenza headed the best player list.
Yeah, the Sydney game was probably our first solid, four-quarter performance. They had some players out, and it was probably, to that stage, the best four-quarter effort we'd put in for the season. And it just felt as though the club was getting on a bit of a roll. We'd won a couple in a row, and on ballers Jarman and Rasciuto were in good nick. So it was some promising signs then.
Oh, the short kick in by Graham's gone straight to the opposition. Bickley marks.
Gaining respect in Melbourne had been a battle for the Crows of old. In 1997 it was a different story. Hawthorn at Waverley, and 23,000 saw Modra open brilliantly with 3 first-quarter goals. Mark Rasciuto continued the form that had made him the top possession gatherer in the AFL. This day, he'd have the ball 32 times.
The skipper pumps the ball back. Here's Modra, he's got it. Directly in front. Modra drills it. Great start by the Crows. Well, they've been under a lot of pressure so far. That's a shocking kick. Great ground made by Graham to knock the ball away from Tregenza. Robram's got it. Hawthorn pack tackling. Back to Tregenza. Inside 50, around the corner. Taken by Liptak. Bang. Kicks a goal.
Now goes for a bit of distance. Holland. Kane Johnson did well. And Hart burst from in front of the pack. Mighty kick to Liptak. Robran going past. Open slather. On his own is Stanfield, the only player inside 50. He looks back at his opponent and said, here I am. Caven to McLeod. His kick up to the centre of the ground. Robran. Started to get going now. That's his 3rd mark. So he's on target to kick his 10 for the take his 10 for the day. Hart. In short, into the space is Costa.
Costa was very smart to drop into that vacant space before the 2 forwards and the 2 defenders were aware of what was happening.
Goal to Costa. Certainly momentum for Hawthorn.
27 points up at half-time, the Crows had left the door slightly ajar and the Hawks came steaming back.
Trying to pounce on it was Gibson. Taps the ball back. Lawrence runs. Quick snap. He's kicked it. From centre-half back, Lawrence has come down. They've kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes and the Hawks are on a roll.
He's just given it up. Lord delays. Is cornered. Eventually has to go the kick. Woods his only chance. Woods did well.
Hawthorn wasting some opportunities. So Jarman kicks a high ball, Liptak. Robran, the crummer, runs inside 50 and kicks a great goal.
At one stage they levelled in the final quarter before Adelaide slipped clear to win by 14 points.
Out in front of Tregenza. Lucky soccer across to Johnson. Back to Tregenza. Over the top to Robran. Graham closes him down. Modra in front, 20 metres out. He got it. Johnson. Rasciuto's kick smothered. Pritchard couldn't get boot to ball. Robran to Johnson. Modra held. Yes, free kick right in front. That should do it for the Crows.
They needed to tumble that ball forward at that instant.
Modra puts the Crows 8 in front.
Modra 5 goals, Bickley 3, Robran 2. Rasciuto, Robran and Costa the outstanding players in coaching win number 100 for Malcolm Blight.
I actually did a bit of history on the club and found out what they'd actually done in the previous 6 years, and just to me there seemed to be a lot of changing. You know, as soon as you get beat, okay, well that didn't work, let's go to the next thing. So in fact what I'd actually done at the start of the season said, well this is the program that we do when we go into state, regardless. You know, we go the night before, we have a training run, we have a team meeting, we get up, we have another meeting, we hop on the bus and go. So we've actually got this format going. And I just felt that if we stuck to it, regardless of the results, that somewhere down the track you'd actually start to believe, well, hang on, it's really not the preparation because this is pretty normal. Now, as I said at the time, I don't think it was a panacea, but at least it got some stability when we travelled.
There's been a whistle, it'll come back, and Tregenza will take the free kick. As we say, a warm West Australian good evening to Dennis Cometti. Den?
The Foundation Day holiday saw the Crows in Perth, and from start to finish, the Crows were in complete control.
Understand perfectly. I was there yesterday. Kicked out towards half forward. Putting a hand to it, Clement. Waiting behind, kick it. He's in the back pocket. They'll kick it. Still going. Spills across. Robran. Nicely done. Stood up in the tackle. Liptak goes goalward. And I think he's got it. Matthew Liptak. Goal.
There is a theory that some prefer the hit-and-run tactics, Ross, and others will come a day or so earlier. As that kick goes in towards goal, that looks pretty good from Mark Rashuto, and the Adelaide Crows have got another one. Plays on quickly to Nigel Smart. He boots in towards Modra territory. Got a hand to it. Parker was right there with him. Couldn't take it cleanly. Almost thrown out towards Vardy. Does some nice elusive work and chips away from 35 metres for another one.
It was a day in which Peter Vardy made his presence felt. He'd kick 4 and notch up 22 possessions.
Rashuto didn't have the ball. Edwards back to Vardy. Vardy about 65 out. Telling long kick. It's a goal. What a beauty. There's been a problem for the Dockers working it out of defence. Wren directs it down to Kim Costa. Costa back towards half forward. Edwards worked under it by Kickett, waiting behind Liptak to Vardy. Vardy breaks through half forward, 40 metres out, closing, kicks the goal. He's having a big night. Pittman, the second attempt. Bickley knocked it away. Vardy directed it down to Rashuto. Costa now confronted, gets by Kickett, brilliantly done. Vardy swings it wider. Robran feeds it back towards the middle. Awkward one for Edwards. He's about 20 metres out, gives it to Robran. The look away hand pass, worked a treat.
While Modra was well held, Robran was outstanding. 20 possessions and 5 goals capped a memorable day.
Beautifully, he got a lovely bounce and he deserves a goal and he's got it. Great play by Robran. Fantastic. One of the best in the league. Has absorbed the water as if it was non-existent. Now this ball is delivered back towards Bickley in the middle. He's got to beat a couple. Comes wide to Jarman, back to Nigel Smart. A little bit of time for Smart to set something up. In fact, more than a little. Here's danger. Robran's loose at half forward. He's only got to get round. He's left it a long time. He hooks it back now, but Robran is there, and he takes the mark to the centre half forward. And he can stretch this as Pittman comes off for Wren. It looks pretty good. It is good for Matthew Robran, and he has kicked 4.
Scotty Chisholm doesn't always play by the rules. Kicks it to himself. Hand passes to Allen. Allen, forward of the back pocket, up towards centre half back. A long time in the air. Costa knocked it down in front. James, Robran on the bounce. It's taken by Vardy, kicking at his 4th. It's not a bad effort, I tell you what. Andy, a couple of him on the forward line and on the ball. Robran hacks it out of mid-air. It's been a cornerstone of the Crows tonight. They've kicked the last 4 goals and they move the ball quickly. It comes back to Robran, who snaps at his 5th. He's got it.
7 goals up at 3/4 time, the Crows would win their 6th from 10 games and move into 3rd place on the ladder.
Over the top, and they punish the mistakes tonight. Edwards does it this time. Kicks a goal for the Crows.
They're on the half-back line at the moment with seconds ticking away. Durkay takes it from his teammate Chisholm. He goes wide to the outer side to Sinclair, but it's all over. Big winners are the Adelaide Crows.
Robran 5, Vardy 4, Rashuto, Robran and McLeod the best.
Also, it was the first time the club got to Perth and had won a game of footy. One of the most amazing things happened that night was that we were supposed to go back the following mid-morning lunchtime. We got a call. We were on the late flight, very early flight that morning. So some of the celebration that I'm sure the players would have had, and everyone would have had, was confined to a room in the hotel with just the bowels of the footy club in it. It was a priceless 4 or 5 hours that actually melded a football club together. There was singing, there was drinking, there was camaraderie that I hadn't seen at the club in my time there, and it just seemed to just envelop everybody. It was just a fantastic night in Perth.
Edwards clears the wing area. Robran has been...
Back to the MCG, this time bottom-placed Melbourne. No quarter asked, none given, as the Crows piled on 6 first-quarter goals.
Up there from Chalmers, who drifts across the front and takes a good mark. A great camera shot right behind him, as we can watch the trajectory of the ball go right through the middle. So Modri might go for the check side here, or will he give it across? He's going to give it across. No mark. Well played by the Melbourne player, but here's Costa to bend it back at goal. Touch, was it? I don't think so. Goal. He's off. So Ben Hart has been in good form. Finds Jamison. What's he doing way up there? Onto the left foot goes Rodney Jamison. Modra flies. Seacamp. Oh, he little fumble. Chalmers. Tyson Edwards. Robran dodges round, races into goal. It's another one.
This was the Adelaide that their fans had waited to see, full of running with a forward line that would feature 10 separate goal kickers.
Kicked it in mid-air. That was good play. Farmer has it kicked away from him. Here's Nigel Smart. Races inside 50. Oh, that is a brilliant goal by the centre-back.
Melbourne can't buy a free kick. It's still inside the attacking 50 for the Crows. Oh, it spills. Bickley. And the kick by Bickley back to the square. Modra! No problem.
Bends it back to Charles. Oh, he is clever. Didn't have the support there. Kane Johnson breaks away. A penetrating kick, gains about 60 metres. They've got the numbers down here. Lip tack, handball, danger because Robran is close to the boundary line. Oh, he gets around Robran. He races in the goal. Oh, brilliant goal. It's more he's hitting out. Steins has had a lot more kicks. Now the Flyers are there. There's a chance for Bickley. That was clever. The lip tack, a very clever little kick that by Mark Bickley. So Matthew Liptack for his second, and he's put it through. Modra has kicked 2. As I said, Seacamp has stuck with him. He's missed a couple, Modra. There's the kick in towards the square. The Flyers are there. Oh, goal to Cave, and the Melbourne players should have punched.
And David Schwartz goes off the ground, having come on in the second quarter. Off he goes in the fourth. 2 kicks, 2 goals, and welcome back after a long time out of the game. He missed 52 games with those 3 knee reconstructions. McLeod's kick, Modra goes off the ground. Has he kicked it? I think so.
Modra, with his third, reached 50 for the season. Modra 3, Liptack and Robran 2 each. Tregenza, Liptack and Jamison the stars in the Crows' 3rd win on the road and 5th on the run as they moved into 2nd place on the ladder.
Here's the throw-in again. Rock defends, but only as far as Robert.
By round 12, many had started talking of the Crows as Premiership aspirants. First came a test against the reigning premiers North Melbourne, and 43,000 were on hand to see the comparison. North got the early break and wouldn't relinquish it. There were highlights. Modra's mark, perhaps the best of the season.
Johnson has been handy, back to Liptack. So the doctor from 50 metres out. Modra's a high.
One of the great features of the great game.
But the old timers would say, Gerard, that was interference. But Modra from point blank range.
He's kicked it. The bounce is not a good one for Jarman, but he'll get another chance. He's tucked on the boundary line. He shoots in towards full forward. Modra's the flyer. And should not miss. 15 metres out. He goes. The Crows close the gap.
Roberts got to take on Pittman. Pittman too tall, down to Jarman. Out of the centre square, here come the Crows. Liptack's got it. kicking from right on 50. Liptak. Long bomb. Great goal.
And down in front, here goes the roving of Liptak that's good into the pocket. They're looking pretty classy at the moment. Edwards. Centering kick, Modra, Martin, a battle of strength. Matty Connell, pick yourself up, Matthew. Pick yourself up, give it to Modra. And he goes.
He'd kicked 6 in one of his best matches of the year against his old nemesis, Mick Martin.
He's on a tight angle. He's 60 metres out. Goes towards Modra. Going for number 5 from 15 metres. He gets it. He gets it. It's one of their traits, though.
The 5-game streak had come to an end. At home, of all places, North by 22 points.
Works. Here's Vardy. A snap by Vardy. It's still alive.
Modra 6, Vardy 2, Bickley, McLeod and Modra the best, with Kane Johnson winning a Norwich Rising Star nomination for his performance.
North Melbourne were the most efficient side that we'd played. They beat us through sheer efficiency. We had enough of the play to win it, but I can just remember North using the ball and just pinpointing 40-metre passes were just fantastic. Yeah, I mean, they were just so much cleaner, and that's when you thought, well, hang on. And I remember telling the blokes on the Monday night, we actually need to have a look at some of this stuff to find out that's the measuring stick. That's what we need to get to get the next level.
For Malcolm Blight, the return to Cardinia Park, the scene of so many successful games as coach of the Cats, was not one of his most pleasant memories of the 1997 season. By quarter time, the writing was on the wall as Geelong had poured on 6-0 after winning the toss and kicking with a strong wind. Blight knew only too well how precious that opening advantage is to the Cats. The Crow highlights were few and far between. Geelong by 56 points.
Bond needs to get on his right foot. Snaps. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. I think he's kicked it. That looks pretty good. It's there.
Modra 2 with 5 other individual goal kickers. Of the better players, Smart, McLeod and Jarman stood out.
It was a disappointing day, but it also, it also showed me that we were still probably a little bit away from it, and we had a good talk after the game and the following week about, the consistency needed to play at the level.
In trouble, Jarman's got it.
If Geelong had been a nightmare for Blight, the West Coast Eagles would provide a dream come true on a Friday night at Football Park. Who could have believed that the scoreline would read 10-1 at half-time? And still the Crows kept applying the pressure.
Great start. Towards half-back, plenty of Eagles around the ball, 2 of them flew. As a result, nothing good came of it. Caven hurriedly up towards the wing. Young Cook, nicely done at close quarters. Smart, looping hand pass. Bounces obligingly for Connell. Connell on the outer side, back towards centre half forward. Vardy was in front, knocked away. Under the loose ball is Smart, runs to the 50, releases Costa. Costa goes Bellwood and gets it from 25.
Let run free, he can just dictate a game.
Peter Matera is off the ground, so more bad news for the West Coast Eagles. In keeping with the scoreboard, here's Beckley around the outer side. Chris Waterman is on, but Peter Matera limping off. It appeared to be a calf. Turnbull over the top. It's grabbed in front by Modra. The snap is good.
That was probably, wasn't it? A bit too much time.
Oh, he's thinking to himself, well, he's fallen over and there's 2 of us and I've got it. And next he says, oops. There's Jarman, spins out of trouble. Jarman bends it back. He's got it in any case.
Robrin now, he will kick from just under 60, changes to the torpedo halfway. Maybe the change of thought got offline. Caven the crumb and Caven the goal.
Bond, short, Wren, the big fellow, on his chest. Trying to bend it back, it's bending!
That's fun.
The final score saw Adelaide record its biggest win against the Eagles, the margin a whopping 75 points. The West Coast restricted to 4 goals.
McKenna, here's a chance for the Crows. Vardy over the top, they've got a player on, it's Darren Jarman. He doesn't miss these. And he didn't.
Modra 4, Cook and Jarman 2 apiece. Jarman and Rasciuto 32 possessions each, clearly the best players.
Forget the result almost. The terrific thing was the reaction from the week before, that we actually butted up, we knuckled down at training, we did a lot of competitive training during the week, and the scoreboard turned for us, which was probably a significant turning point in the season as well.
Work by Simon Goodwin, the young boy from South Adelaide.
3 versus 4 on the ladder. Those old North Melbourne Premiership teammates of 1977, Blight and Elves, now in charge of Adelaide and St Kilda. It was not a high-scoring game at Football Park, but it was an intriguing one between two sides that had finished in the bottom quarter of the ladder in the previous season. Now, as both felt they were moving into flag calculations, it was a chance to look at some of the individuals who would be key movers come September.
Use their bodies, which is what it's all about in footy.
Lappin couldn't take it. Here's a chance for Bickley to give it away to Modra. He bends it back into full forward. Still that elusive 400 eludes him. What about Bob? This is going to be close. He's got it.
Well played by Matthew Roderick. This is Vardy bending it around the corner. That's a brilliant kick. He's found Matty Connell. Connell's, there's some bad signs here for St Kilda. The Crows doing all the attacking. Modra on the lead in front of Shanahan. He's got to kick this ball 50 metres.
The St Kilda defence held Modra to 1 goal. In his 100th game, it would be his 400th AFL career goal.
Through was Aussie Jones, but without it.
Darren Jarman loped around and gathered 26 kicks and 6 hand passes. On the other side, Robert Harvey was moving into Brownlow medal calculation with 43 touches. Class stuff. St Kilda moving to a 2-goal lead at half-time. Rasciuto put in a blinding third quarter, 11 kicks to slow the Saints. The Crows back in front at the last change and destined to stay there.
Kane Johnson runs to 50, drives a goal, a one-on-one. Was that touch? No, it's a goal.
In a 10-point win, Bickley the only multiple goal scorer for Adelaide, Vardy receiving a Norwich Rising Star nomination for his 22 kicks and 10 marks.
Because it was the first time for the season we came from behind. And if you look at every season, top finalists position, win games coming from behind. There's just that belief and that flow and that camaraderie comes through. So I was absolutely stoked after the game with in talking to the media about it, and also the players to say, look, do you realise what you've just done? You've actually joined the big league in a footy season. I thought it was the most significant win of the season.
Giving the benefit of the doubt, it's early in this game. Players testing.
Friday night at the Gabba under lights, the Lions on a 4-game winning streak and looking like the team that had made the preliminary final under John Northey in 1996. Of the highlights, Jarman stood out. 11 kicks in the second quarter as Adelaide moved to within 3 goals at the long break.
Away by Wren, sets it up for Jarman. Watch this one go through.
Darren Jarman all the way. Goal to Adelaide.
David Pittman with 10 knockouts moved to 5th on the AFL list. Modra kicked 6. He was leading the goal kicking by 17.
Back to Rasciuto, had Jarman, decided against it, belts it beautifully to Modra. What wonderful vision, plays on and kicks his third against the flow.
But this night the Lions from go to woe. A 31-point win to Brisbane, Modra 6, Vardy 2, Pittman, Modra and Jarman the standouts.
Yes, Mark Rasciuto had a fantastic season up to this stage, and we could see in the Brownlow, of course, that that was displayed. But his groins were really starting to get very sore from here on in, and we just struggled in that midfield area. He'd been such a part of it. Then to lose him almost in that game, where he was almost ineffectual, it was a bit of a struggle from then on in for a while.
Give, kick smothered.
The visit by Richmond would have far-reaching consequences, not for the Crows, but for Tiger coach Robert Walls, who history will note was in charge of his last game for the club. Little wonder. The Tigers were pathetic. Adelaide kicked 8 goals to 0 in the opening term. Jarman was on fire.
Under pressure, Ryan thrown off the ball. Great pick up by Jarman. Maybe a bit of magic at Football Park. Jarman has banged it through. So Tawney, who's got the job on Jarman, thumped the ball forward. Here's Bickley, the skipper. Kicks back inside 50. Backing back, showing a lot of courage, was Tate. He's got tremendous courage, and it was caught upon then. Jarman pumps the ball high. It's a loose ball, been marked by Robrin. It's a long way out. Been kicking from a good 60 metres. So it's a beautiful kick inside the... It's gone, in fact, it's cleared the pack.
No fewer than 14 Crows would kick goals. They got them from set shots, from angles, on the run, and from sensational marks.
Kicks their sixth. Wouldn't have made much difference there. He was on his own. Tate was late on the scene.
Look at the look on the face of
High fly.
That will come close to mark of the year, you'd reckon. That
he's already got that.
I reckon that one was better. He's kicked the goal. Across to Ormond Allen. He goes straight. Rodman took off before acceptances. No free kick and no mark. Throws at the fall of the ball, led by Caven. Draws a man. Snap it goal by Vardy. And he has put it through. I think it's a pass there.
For Mark Rasciuto, what a way to celebrate his 100th game. At 22, the 10th youngest to reach the milestone in AFL history.
Because they've kicked 22 goals, Modra's only got 3 of them.
So Rasciuto right on the siren, and he's kicked a goal. What a way to end for the Adelaide.
So he's got 5 kicks and 3 of them have been frees. But what they'll be talking about tomorrow is the marking talk. Jarman, can he make it 7? Oh, he has! He can do no wrong!
So Ryan pumps the ball back towards the half-back line. Sampson, taken by Jamison, rockets the ball to Bickley, goes short to Modra. Champagne football by the Crows.
Into space, but certainly he's obviously nothing wrong with his fitness because he did it well.
From 45 metres out, Tony Modra. They can't miss.
This wouldn't be Adelaide's biggest win. It fell 2 points short of the 139-point victory over the Tigers in 1993. The final score of 29-11-185 was its highest score in 7 years in the AFL.
Long shot at goal, and he has kicked it.
Jarman 7 was a Rolls-Royce, Modra and Robrin 4 each. Jarman clearly the best afield from Bickley and James. Adelaide now second on the ladder with the best percentage in the competition.
It was probably the hottest we played, as bad as they were, as good as we were. So it was nice to break a club record. Not that you do it for that reason, but it was about that time people start to say, we're talking about Adelaide as this, you know, free-scoring, flowing football team, which I thought was a bit unfair at the time, actually.
Starting off in defence.
As Malcolm Blight said later, these were the cameo Crows, with apologies to the Camry Crows. The game against Carlton showcased so many facets of the improvements that had taken Adelaide from 12th in 1996 into second place. The return of Sean Wren as an agile marking big man was perfectly illustrated as he gathered 20 possessions and took a dozen marks.
Within about 25 metres and kicks a great goal.
Got his boot to it though. Kick back towards the centre of the ground. Wren or danger here because the Crows go forward through Costa. He can have a shot right on 50. Hand pass over the top, should be a gimme. Robert an open goal, kicks one through the middle.
Not a great kick. And once again, they get a bad bounce. Chalmers, Collins, good hand pass. And here's trouble. Good one, left footer, right through the middle.
In midfield, the Adelaide runners kept up the flow of opportunities to a forward line that made the most of so many of them. Vardy too was a focal point. He kicked 4 all before half-time.
Murphy should have been there for Bradley, but he just sat back, no second effort.
And Peter Vardy takes the mark, 49 metres from goal.
Well, he gave the handball to Craig Bradley, then sat on his heels rather than following his handball through. And Bradley expected him to be on the move as he would have been, and he wasn't there.
Vardy for his 4th. That is a great kick.
Can we get it?
Modra, 5 goals, 4 in the last quarter. Little did the Crows' brain trust realise the well was about to dry up here. In all, 11 different goal kickers contributing as the Crows kicked 18 goals 19 to register a 41-point win against a Carlton side that was again depleted by injury.
Oh, unmarked. And this is a bit of a picnic here for Collins. Modra. He had a blanket thrown on him by Milhana earlier on, but he's thrown that off and is sparkling in this last quarter. He's kicked 3-1 in this last term. Coming up for his 5th goal for the day. And that's what a leading goal kicker does.
Adelaide still in second place on the ladder. Modra 5, Vardy 4. Wren best on the ground in a perfect hit-out for the finals ahead.
Sean and David, the dual ruckman, were really starting to work and keep a lot of pressure on, and Sean's form was gradually lifting. You know, sort of used him sparingly. I just didn't want to break him down again. But the game against Carlton was really one of every now and again someone would chip in. We didn't play super well. Carlton were slightly undermanned, I would have thought, but it was good that we can actually get contributions from 18 guys at some stage during the game. So that was another pleasing aspect of the season.
Barmy days and barbecues. It felt like a final in September, and that's the way the crowd was treating it.
I'll Port Power because they're just simply the best and they rule the world.
Oh, the Crows for sure.
Port not up to it?
No, they're crap.
The traditional pre-match build-up is important as the contest itself.
You need food in your stomach.
Beautiful. Some were fired up.
No one's relaxing today. Go the Crows!
Come on, Port Adelaide aggression! Yes!
Others a touch underwhelmed and hoping football would be the winner.
I'm a Power. My wife's a Crow. We're supposed to be going away on a holiday. Ideally, we should have left yesterday. But she wants revenge for last time.
Perhaps it was because it was Power's home game, but they were the only ones singing. The Crows a little on the shy side. Paul Dowling, 7 Nightly News.
It was suggested that Adelaide's mid-season spurt was caused by the shock of losing showdown number 1 to the Power from Port. Boy, how close they came to losing number 2 as well. A dreadful start on a gloomy evening saw the Power kick 5 goals to 0 in the opening term. At half-time, they led by 3 goals. At three-quarter time, by 4. It was a slogging last quarter that saw the Crows regain their pride. They would kick 4 goals and hold the Power scoreless. If ever Malcolm Blight had called for an effort, this was it.
Wren and Lade. Wren nearly.
McLeod with speed. They've got to kick this. He has. They're kicking it.
For Port Adelaide, Wilson over the top, a big fist. Knocked forward by Connell. Diving on it, Wanganeen. Lade, attempted hack out of there by Rashudo. Ben Hart gets it back to Sampson. Little kick has been marked by Bond. If he kicks accurately, the Crows are in front. He's shooting from only 25 metres. And he puts it through. Second goal to Troy Bond. Scoreless so far, Port Adelaide in the last quarter.
Well, the last few seconds of play, the kick comes to half-back.
Marking contest, Ben Hart. Kick forward again by Connell. Mark taken by Vardy. So any chance that Port Adelaide would have of winning this game has been snuffed out by a tremendous effort, character-building effort by the Crows in this last term. Difficult conditions. A chance to extend their lead from 1 to 7 points. Put by Vardy, a great goal.
That will be it. Oh, what a goal it was.
Second goal to Peter Vardy. 7 points the margin now in favour of Adelaide Crows.
Jarman, Bond and Vardy 2 each, while James, Jarman and Wren did the damage as the Crows moved to top spot on the ladder.
I remember walking out at three-quarter time and seeing the scoreboard, and we were 3 goals 5 down, and we'd kicked 4 in the second quarter. I thought, well, all we have to do is stop them from scoring. And I really believe this, that if we could kick 4 goals, we'd win the game by a point. Now, as it turned out, it took a bit of specialness from Andrew McLeod and Troy Bond to do it for us, so we actually had a bit of a bonus, getting over by 7 points.
Scotty West again, 2 hand passes in that transition.
If there was a late season hiccup, it came at the hands of the Western Bulldogs. A late match on a Sunday, a huge crowd of parochial South Australians, and the lure of a 1-2 finish on the ladder didn't seem to inspire the Crows at all. Flat and lethargic, they were no match for the supercharged Dogs. Down by 7 goals at half-time, there was little to enthuse about. A 43-point defeat sent Adelaide back down the list to 3rd.
Modra at the back? No. In front, Darren Jarman. Perhaps not too bad. Modra looks as though he has been injured right from the start, crossing from Collingwood. But Jarman going for goal, and it's a good kick on this occasion. He's kicked a goal for the Crows.
7 different goal kickers against a tight Bulldog defence. McLeod, Hart and Johnson the best.
It was almost the reverse of the roles when we played them at Optus Oval early in the year. We were on top, they were coming off a 4-game losing streak and just a win against Melbourne. So their form wasn't great. However, they got us early and we just couldn't get back into the game. So it was a pretty solid win. And that's when everyone started to say, well, hang on, there's this running program, this extra running program you're doing working. But I just thought it was one of those games that we were just a bit off and they were super.
Swings it out towards Sharkey.
Icy conditions at Football Park on a Monday night greeted Collingwood and Adelaide for this round 21 encounter. And how the scoreboard reflected the going.
The big man fires it high and long. The fire is Modra from the back, but he can't take it. Well scooped up by Osborne. And Richard Osborne on the last line of defence draws the player, gives the hand pass away, intercepted. Marnie has lost it. It should result in a goal to Jarman. Yes! Every player in one half of the ground. He goes short and cuts one. Here's poleaxed. Oh, this crowd is high. This will be a goal to the Crows. And they slip closer.
Buckley, oblivious to all of that, to himself. Takes them on, charges out of the goal square.
Collingwood would kick 3 first-quarter goals, and that would be enough to allow them to lead for almost 3 quarters. It wasn't until Matt Connell in game number 50 marked and was hammered into the turf did the Crows hit the front.
Jarman. Short again, just pops it over the top. It's going to be... And that'll be 50. That will be 50. That will be a goal for the Crows. And it'll put them back in front. I think it was Matty Connell.
Gavin Krasiska has had a great game, but just temporarily was a little bit over-enthusiastic.
It's his 50th game, Matt Conlon. He's put the home side in front. Cruises past Patterson, kicks to half forward, up towards the 50. Pittman is there. Costa does the scouting. Costa goes towards goal. The kick's a beauty. Jamieson is waiting.
Rod Jamieson, with his first goal for the year and 87th of his career, put the result beyond doubt.
Michael pushing up the ground. He's away. He's about 80 metres from goal. Goes towards the pocket. Rocker. So Sav Rocker's got it, but the siren will beat them. He'll kick after the siren.
In a 9-point win, Costa was the only multiple goal kicker for the Crows. Smart, Caven and Connell the best.
It was one of those more defensive games again. The scores weren't high, but to get over that one in the end in a pretty tight, low-scoring game, we'd done that 3 or 4 times for the season. So, you know, I use the word that stickability. You know, we're just starting to get some stickability into the team, which was pleasing.
It looked very ordinary this morning here in Melbourne, but it's...
The 22nd round of the season was one of the most complex in years. All positions in the top 8 were under review. For the Crows, the game against Essendon at Optus Oval started brilliantly. 5 goals in the opening 10 minutes and Adelaide was looking at a third-place finish and a guaranteed home final. Jarman looked dangerous. Modra back to form despite his injured knee.
Back this year, short to Modra, too much carry on the ball. There's another push in the back, not played. Jarman, quick snap, he's got it. Too far out to score. He'll land it inside 50. Oh, Jamison, big fly again, couldn't complete it on that occasion. Bombers defending desperately. They haven't got the numbers here, but Danaher comes in, overruns the footy. Jarman loves these snaps. He looks pretty good. I think he's kicked his second. He has. That's 5 to the Crows.
Then suddenly the fire disappeared. Shades of the 93 preliminary final when Essendon staged a second-half revival. There were glimpses of Adelaide 97, but the final margin of 4 points to Essendon was more flattering than Malcolm Blight might have let on.
Goal just to settle it down. Jamison, great mark. And he's been playing in front of Wellman all day.
Yes.
3 goals next to his name. Can he make it 4? Jamison from just inside 50.
He's a good kick.
He's got it.
Jamison 6, Jarman 3. The best were Caven and Jamison, who both finished with 8 marks. Tony Modra managed 3 goals in 4 weeks, but that would be enough to leave him clearly on top of the table with 81 goals. Severio Rocker 5 adrift. For the first time, an Adelaide Crow had won the Coleman Medal as the AFL's top goal kicker.
Tell us about the knee. It's not a bandage, it's seen some padding on the front of your patella tendon. Just what's that all about? Why do you need that?
It's just a burst I've had on the knee over the last few months, which keeps puffing up and reoccurring each week. So just hoping to get by each game and not knock it too much.
And it's actually falling on it that causes the problem.
That's right, yeah.
Over the top, thumps it down towards half forward, into the path of Costa.
For the first time, finals football came to Adelaide, but the fans had to wait. The televised funeral of Diana, Princess of Wales, caused the rescheduling of Adelaide's first qualifying final against the Eagles from Saturday night to Sunday afternoon. The wild and windy conditions which greeted the players saw Adelaide take an early lead, which they would hold on to for the duration. The Crows would outscore the Eagles into the wind in the first and third quarters.
Here comes Smart. Drive from outside 50. Smart runs it home. Sensational play by the Crows.
The Eagles down. They've got use of the breeze in this term. They've got to be in front by quarter time. Pittman to Connell, brilliantly played. High floating kick, only went about 15 metres. Missed by Lewis, who was busy in the second term. Robin went down. Hand pass comes across to Johnson. It was well played by Edwards. Johnson for goal, and he gets it.
Just a standing 8 count so far. Jarman, outside of 50, thumps the ball back. Wrestling down there is Modra. He's got it. Only kicked 4 goals in the last 4 games. So from point-blank range, Tony Modra thumps it through. Sets it up to Banfield, back to Lewis. Long raking handballs, not going to hit a target. Cousins was going backwards. Caven was coming forward. Caven from half-back on the burst. This is a big play for the Crows. Kicks long, Modra from behind. He's got it! Sensational play by Caven. Great mark by Modra. Modra's booted too. This is a big play directly in front. 45 metres out. Listen to the roar. He's got it.
19 points up at the last change. The Crows kicked 4-5 in the last quarter to seal the game by 33 points.
He's been fantastic since half-time. Gets the ball out, taken by the Crows. Connell once more forces forward. Modra's got the centre. That's going to bounce through. Lucky bounce for Connell. And the Crows have got it.
Up towards the half-forward line, past Peter Vardy, towards Allen. Modra waits in the square. Allen chops one, gets clear. Oh, it's going to run to another goal. Peter Vardy! Jonas, a former teammate.
Correct,
Ross,
yes.
North Melbourne. Here's a chance once again. This time it's Bond. Held it for a long time, gave it towards Bickley, back to Robber, and he snaps. They're home, the Crows. They're home.
Modra kicked 3 to take his tally to 12 in 7 games. Hart, Bickley and McLeod the best.
I thought that an extra day just to gather our thoughts for our first final against, an 8-in-a-row time finalist gave us an extra day where we could actually sit down and watch the Eagles. On the Saturday, we spent 2 or 3 quality hours together, which we hadn't done a lot for the year in that environment. So it was a bonus, I think, for us.
But he has got an advantage overhead, and he has to take some marks.
Adelaide would give Geelong 2 starts in the second semi-final at Football Park and reel in the Cats both times. 46,000 saw one of the best games of the season as Adelaide could manage only 1 first-quarter goal, then come back brilliantly to snatch the lead in the second quarter with 6 of the very best.
Wren tries to flick it back, then goes again, goes over the head of Hocking. Charging through, good tackle by Sanderson, but it comes to Costa. Kick Costa, 20 metres out, 15 out, and bang! They're back. Eventually it's Johnson, who slips clear towards Robran. Takes the mark at half forward, the big man, and he'll look down the ground. Down towards Modra. Bang! He lets one go. He lets one go! What a beauty!
Ultimately, Scholl, off half a step, kicks up towards midfield. No mark taken there. Jarman goes inside the high tackle. The advantages to the Crows. McLeod from 51.5 metres. A long bomb, and he has kicked it!
Darren Jarman was sublime. 10 kicks in that term helped turn the game. Sean Wren back to his commanding best. Matthew Robran a star at centre-half forward. By half-time, the Crows led by 7 points.
Interestingly, Brad Vernon was the umpire that didn't pay Tony Modra his mark, which was, and that one was actually out of the back of Bond after the mark was paid.
What are you saying, square up number 2?
No, I don't think they ever square up, but they certainly make mistakes, Sandy, and that one's certainly at the back of Troy Bond after the mark is paid.
So Bond goes long with just his second kick, and he's got it.
The rain started falling in the second half, and Geelong had clawed their way back into the contest. Vardy would show tremendous courage, missing the mark and breaking his collarbone. The goal was a beauty.
From the skipper. Kick. No mark. Snap by Vardy. And he's got it.
Well made.
He's hurt.
It's a goal.
Back to play. Wren again dominating those bounces. Scholl in towards the centre of the ground. Snell wanting to use some pace. Hart right there with him. Snell doing well, just holding the front position. That's the way to do it. Pickering off the ground. Jarman, another touch. It will be a classy one.
Steadies to half forward. Now Sampson was at the back. Well done by Robert. Eventually get it off to Rintoul. Here's Clay Sampson. Does it beautifully. In the pocket. He goes for goal. The Crows hit back for goal. He's at half back. Comes to centre wing. Adelaide leads by 3 points. Peter Cavan with his 4th kick for the night goes into half forward and he finds Allen. Still a long way from home. Into the hole comes Bond.
2 to Bond, and the Crows were through to the preliminary final for the first time since 1993.
Into this game for the Crows.
This will make it hard for the Cats. They rise as one.
Just over 3 minutes of play left. Western Bulldogs, they'd be sitting back in the western suburbs of Melbourne, watching for their next opponent. At this stage, it does look like the Crows.
Oh!
Jarman! You can't keep a good man down, can you?
10 kicks, 6 hand passes, 7 marks. Costa. The Crows hoping to finish in a blaze of glory. He runs a long way. A flat-looking punt kick to Bond. What a grab! From 52 metres. It's a lovely kick from Bond.
That's it.
Good night, Nurse.
Bond 3, Robran 2. Wren, with 12 kicks, 7 marks, 6 hand passes and 25 hit-outs, was best afield from Jarman and McLeod.
It was one of those games, wasn't it? Perhaps if you reflect, I mean, there's many things that happened during the final series, but it was certainly a game that, you know, if Geelong won it, they probably could have gone on, and, you know, we could have, obviously. But, yeah, it was tight. They got away early on us too. They had a terrific start, and so we were always under the pump. And it was really one of those grind-me-down wins that we'd had so often in the back half of the season. So not that you actually would walk out there and think, we can win this, but there's no doubt that you had a bit of confidence in the team that we could actually sustain it and come from behind. To get up by 8 points, a few controversial circumstances, all those things that just make the game great anyhow.
Leads from the goal square. There's plenty filling the hole in front. Modra did well.
St Kilda had booked a berth in the grand final, and only the foolhardy would have suggested their opponents would have been any other than the Western Bulldogs. 70,000 came to the MCG on that Saturday in September and saw the Crows blow the opening quarter with 7 straight behinds. Tony Modra would be helped from the field at the 20-minute mark. The cruciate ligament in his good knee gone. His season over.
I think it's his left knee. That's his right knee.
So this is a tragedy now for Adelaide with Modra, that high flyer. Such an important player, Coleman medalist this year.
Incredible, really, isn't it? Last night, after just 11 minutes, the great player in Corey McKernan taken from the ground with his shoulder dislocated, and now Tony Modra.
By half-time, the margin was 31 points.
Won by Wren, down towards Jarman. Starting to pick up a few stats now. Kicks towards the half-forward line. At the back is Keating. He's clean bowled. Bond may get the opportunity. He lunges in over the top. Robran gets the call out wide from Chadwin Toole. Chadwin Toole! What a snap by the youngster!
In the third quarter, Adelaide began inching its way back into the game.
Neither can take it. An opportunity for Kane Johnson. Tumbles it back to full forward. And the mark is taken by Nigel Smart. So Nigel Smart hoping to keep the Crow flame alive. He's done it.
And Wren's decided to take the bandage off his knee.
And Keating going on the ball. West got it out of the middle for the Bulldogs. They hurry it forward to the 50. Hart's back there. He goes to the southern stand side. Costa. Crows have started the second half better. Kick by Costa towards half forward. Punch down, comes to Ellen. Gets the support of Bond. Short to Wren. And Wren takes his second mark. Adelaide fans want 50 and they get it.
And the Western Bulldogs, I think because of all the changes that had been made at half-time, they're a little bit out of sorts at the moment. We see Crediuk and Smart down in the goal square just having a little bit to say to each other.
Meantime, Wren from just a few metres goals. Back come the Crows.
So at the last change, the Crows trailed by 22 points. 4 Bulldogs chances go missing in the opening minutes of the quarter. 4 chances that might well have sealed the game. And then they came back with a sudden vengeance. Goal after beautiful goal.
So this for his 200th career goal and his second for the day, but more importantly to keep the Crows in touch, to give them some faint hope.
Free kick to McLeod. Open down the centre corridor for Bickley. He goes long. Jarman's at full forward. He jumps and
And missed kicks can sap the energy of the players up field too.
Wren sets himself in front. Knocked on by Wine, taken by Bickley. Wonderful handball to Connell. On the edge of the centre square, Jarman again is the target. Couldn't take it, he looked like he might have been held. No free kick, chance for Smart, a fumble. He's got it. Smart kicks a goal. Here come the Crows.
They know there's no tomorrow. There's just 10 points in it. Sean Wren tries to get a mighty belt at it, but it's picked up by Scotty West. Spirals it high to the outer side. Tyson Edwards gives chase. First to the ball. Next goal could decide the fate of this game. Matty Connell's got a chance to run, and run he does, in towards Jarman. He's inside 50. Goes short, propping it up towards Goodwin.
He's on the left foot too. Yeah. He'll be kicking with his left foot in at the goal. Simon
Goodwin, in just his 9th senior game with the Crows, can cover himself in glory, and he has.
Sean Wren was standing tall. Darren Jarman was up forward doing those magical things. At the 25-minute mark, Kane Johnson sets up the match winner.
And in fact, that's Goodwin. They're starting to win the one-on-one battles, KB.
So Goodwin's got it on centre wing. Goes short. Finds Johnson. He's got it, Jarman! Mr. Magic's got it. They trail by 2 points. Look at the convention centre in Adelaide. 90 plays 87. Under 2 minutes left. Darren Jarman. The spotlight is on him. 35 metres out. The Crows are in front.
It's looking like the Crows. They lead by 2 points. What a turn-up after a 31-point margin at half-time. Crows were goalless in the first term. Bulldogs have been goalless in the last. Scott West again. It drops short. Edwards gets back there. The hand pass away. Jamison. Siren. Crows are in the grand final.
Oh, and look at them. They've gone mad at Football Park. And the players, well, look at Libba. Bubba Smith cannot believe it. There's been so much written and so much said. But the reality is the Dogs have missed out. Malcolm Blight and his men are through.
Well, Malcolm, you don't see many better five backs than that.
No, it's one of the specials, isn't it? I mean, it was just, it was marvellous.
To take the game away from them, they looked in control.
Yeah, we went through it pretty rationally at half-time and just thought if we could win the third quarter and then if we could win the last quarter, and it's turned out we won it, so we won it. So, I mean, it was just an amazing game.
A lot of character shown there by the players.
Yeah, there's been a lot of fight all year, Neil, as you would know, and oh, look, we had babies out there today that made some shocking blues early, but they fought back. It was great.
Well done.
3 goals to Jarman, Smart and Jamison 2 apiece. McLeod, Wren and Johnson the best.
At half-time, I can remember thinking that Ben Hart had a shot just before half-time and hit the post. They've gone down and Cook's kicked the goal to put them 5-odd in front. So I'd always thought it was only a 3-goal ball game. It was, 30 seconds of football. So no, we walked in pretty positive. The players, because we'd come from behind in so many games in the back half of the season, and I think I just mentioned some of those, we made some moves and it didn't happen straight away. It was just one of those wear-me-down exercises, and we were lucky enough to get across the line.
Grand final week in Melbourne is something special. The Crows here for the first time, St Kilda for the first time in 26 years. And the traditional start, the counting of votes in the Brownlow medal.
Adelaide M. Rasuto, 3 votes.
Rasuto polling 18 votes in the first 14 rounds. Injury would cost him so dearly. The motorcade hardly gives you a warm and fuzzy feeling if you're from out of town. It was hardly the sort of reception you'd write home about. This was always going to be against the odds for Adelaide.
This grand old game, its lasting charm, its very survival, is to do with its people. People like Stan Alves, a footballing saint. Let me tell you about Stan Alves, and let me tell you nothing. North Melbourne. 1977, the song and the dance. It's about people like Malcolm Blight. Once they were teammates. Still they smile, that smile of mateship. It's about spirits and ghosts, the living and the dead. People like, you saw him, Robert Harvey, Nicky Winmar, crying and trying for his dad. And the Crows, crowing. When Stan Alves went to St Kilda, they hadn't won a premiership since the first year of decimal currency. Since 1966, the spirit, it lived. And Malcolm Blight at Adelaide, it's true, he did have some ghosts, some skeletons in the closet. Yet suddenly, this team that couldn't finish, it finished over them all. People and places. This is the grand final of a grand old game. At day's end, it's for you. It's people. It's champions. It's this game's greatest day.
Grand final day. Tickets the hardest to come by in years, as 99,000 packed into the G. The Crows forced to omit Ormond Allen with glandular fever, and the desperately unlucky Modra. In came Pittman after suspension, and James. And then it was on, and just like the previous week, the Crows couldn't find the goals.
Ellen playing full forward, hand passes, Zilla spikes it, knocks it about 20 metres from goal. Here's Costa, 25 out, he snaps. Wide of the mark. Behind.
The sun is shining so brightly. Pickett straight down the centre, good kick, but it was cut off by Wren. Here's a chance, Jarman to finish. Drills, hits the post. Hands on head, can't believe it.
9 minutes in, Shane Allen makes the breakthrough. Down forward to replace Modra. He will be the revelation.
Costa to him, and he's got it. Speak of him, he presents himself and takes a mark. Has not kicked one goal in 9 matches this year.
It's a strange move, that, because he's normally been playing up across half forward, and it allows Jamie Shanahan to go back to his most comfortable slot in the true full-back position, but having said that, he's got a shot from 35 metres to put the Crows on the board.
3 career goals in 38 games. It's good, it's through, it's 4 now.
With Modra being injured, I was just looking around the structure of the team, and I was keen to get Nigel Smart up forward, but I'd watched him at full forward the week before when Modra went off, and it just didn't quite go. He's more of a free spirit than that. And to get that extra height, you know, Shane's 6'3" or whatever, and I was just so pleased for him that he got a couple early. Now, you know, we had to move him back in the end because of the structure of the team. We had some injuries, but I was so pleased for him that he might start believing that he actually plays. So, I was just so happy for him.
Important ball here, McLeod's after it hard. He could score. No, he goes short. Wide, Bond's got it. 45 metres out, tight angle.
Not the longest kick in the comp, though. He kicked a long bomb, didn't he, late against Geelong, which was a huge goal at the time. He kicked a couple of goals late in that match. He's the leading goal scorer for the Crows in the finals this season, and that's a good kick. It's right there, close, very close. Is it a goal? I think it is. What a goal!
This is a hard football to win at the moment. Wakeland does the ruck work. Bond gets an opportunity, but he's claimed. Flicked in towards goal. Lovely looking tick too. Is going to be good. Goodwin. It pops the handball straight up in the air. Difficult one for Lowe. Hurried kick by Jarman, goes back towards centre wing. Difficult one as it bounces low. Up towards right half forward. Charging his Cripps. Claim, but gets his kick down to half forward, and a beautiful fingertip mark. Low down by Jarman. What a champion he is as he gives it to Costa. He runs through the centre, floats it up towards Ellen at half forward. Shanahan spoils. Shanahan recovers and defends towards the boundary line. Kept in play, however. Ellen sneaks away the hand pass. Edwards flicks to Bond.
But in the forward line, keep it inside, and the Crows set it up from that.
The Crows are pegging them back.
At half-time, the Saints lead by 13 points as the skies darken, the threat of rain imminent. Then the Adelaide goal spree.
Johnson, nicely done, releases Jarman running down towards half forward, too high for Smart, loose ball at the back. Wintour left it behind, plenty of Saints there, in goes Smart. Cripps comes away though, one bounce, running up towards half back, kicks towards the wing, they battle on the logo. Keogh almost, in behind them is Pittman, picked up by Goodwin, good hand pass, away comes Costa, Costa down towards the 50, Rintoul's got it now. Rintoul is 60 metres out. Inclined to go for distance, long towards full forward, it bounces behind them, I don't think they touched it.
Brett James is directly in front of goal, but 55 metres out. The long drop punt, there's no one at the back there for St Kilda. Shane Allen is going to have a shot to bring the Crows to within 1 point of St Kilda.
Well, it's interesting. Allen is now playing on the half-back line against Rod Keogh, and he drifted forward, and Keogh might have just missed him.
Shane Allen goes. Here come the Crows. Allen has 3.
Pulls it back towards the middle. They come from all directions. And the young man, Goodwin, claims the mark.
It's played well, releases Bond, runs a yard and then bounces. And then comes away and chips to Smart at 60. The Crows are playing brilliantly at the moment. Jarman in the pocket, kicks towards him, got him. Well, he can go back and put him in front just like he did last week. Kicks for goal. They're in front. So Costa to take it, right in front of our commentary position. 7, footy's home ground, what a match. Costa from centre wing, high ball to half forward. Just sort of hoping here that someone can grab it. At the bottom, Rintoul, quiet match. Kicked a goal in this quarter, held it up beautifully. Kicks to Ellen, the surprise packet of the grand final. Big kick this one, 52 metres out. He has kicked it magnificently. A stunning kick.
In that third quarter, we just need to change the structure of the team. St Kilda were a couple of goals up. It wasn't really it was just with Andrew McLeod going into the centre too. It was just things that you thought someday, somewhere, if we can do it as a bit of a surprise factor rather than do it as a constant factor, it might help us. And on the day, Darren was just sensational in that last quarter. And once again, the game opened up and we got a lot of good ball to him. You know, we got a lot of clean ball, and him one out and the ball on his side, he's always going to be a danger.
One grab, it wasn't enough. Pressure now on the Crows defence as Cayman comes away. Peter Cayman is clear.
He's on the wing, he goes to half forward. Costa, how will it bounce obligingly for him? He's paddling it out towards the boundary. 55 metres out, Jarman. Jarman is 20 metres out. 83 plays 74. Jarman, his side in front. Pinpoint accuracy, a clinical finish. He's got 3.
Stan Alves outwardly looks calm. Oh, Robran in front. Harvey gives it away to Burke. Robran and Waitland. Back towards Jarman. Jarman! Yes! Darren Jarman!
Either way now, the Dream has only just over 11 minutes to run. There's Brown. Ziller unloads. Winmar's in front. Wren playing his heart out. In from the side. Feeds it wide. Great Shepherd off the ball. Brought some space for Allen. Alongside the centre circle. Unloads. Smart. From behind. Up at goal. 5 for the half. German. The margin, 21 points. The Crows in front. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the game. Knocked down the Saints' way. McLeod, though, has been wonderful. Pumps it back in. Jarman almost. It fell in front. Rintoul. The Crows lead in all directions. Ellen gets another goal. His fifth. How about that? Shane Ellen, 5 goals in a grand final.
Edwards chips it back towards centre wing. Here's McLeod. He's been sensational. Off he goes to Goodwin. In towards centre half forward. Towards Nigel Smart. Bounces straight up. Leaves a path for Bond. Oh, they're having holes. Look at them go.
Bond breaks a tackle. Caught by Daniels. Taken by Rintoul. Hart has to wait. Taps it cleverly to Goodwin, who kicks cleverly to Caven, who's away again. Kicks inside to Smart. He's got him. The Crows are full of running. There's an empty goal square. He's going to take his time and savour the moment. Smart to put the icing on the cake. And it will be the sweetest taste of all. 50 metres out. Good kick. It's close. He has done it. What a fairy tale ending for the Adelaide Crows. So there's nothing left now but to celebrate.
Is Andrew McLeod of the Adelaide Crows. The 1997 AFL Coca-Cola Premiership Cup to the Adelaide Crows.
In fact, it's so hard to put into words what you really want to say. It's almost, I actually haven't got all the players together and said, well, look, what a fantastic win. It was almost everyone you saw was unexplainable. No words describe when you watch someone's face and see the joy in it and just the pleasure they're getting out of it.
When we finally got back in to see Malcolm, it was quite extraordinary. We never said a word. We just sort of hugged one another, and yeah, I don't think you could find words to describe how good it was. It was kind of a relief in lots of ways.